It is. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're talking about the Canon R8. We're talking about my likes and challenges after this. Yes, Viz, the Canon R8 is a great camera for the price range, and it is a keeper for me. Originally, I bought it for the B cam to the R5C because the R5C is not the greatest in low light, and the R8 is a little bit better when it comes to those low light situations. So now I made this video to show my likes about this camera and some challenges. Now again, I'm not one to be all negative about the cameras and start complaining and this, that, and the other. There are some challenges, yes. And I actually put together a list of accessories that I use to overcome those challenges. So let's get right into it. Now, starting with number one, image. I love the image out of this camera for the $1,500 price range. Now, this camera has a 6K sensor, and I did a video showing how to maximize that 6K in RAW, mind you, and you can kind of see that video right here. But I put together the workflow and everything I use to get the 6K RAW image out of this camera. And if you want to check that out, go ahead and check out that video, and it'll show you step by step how I was able to do it using the camera hack that I got from Make Art Now, right? So again, the image is number one for me. When it comes to cameras and those types of things, the first thing I'm looking for is image. Can I get a great image out of the camera to work with in post? Okay, now number two. Number two is price. All the things that we're getting out of this camera at this price range, I think is great. We're getting great image, and we're getting good exposure tools, which will come up to when we start getting more into my likes, right? So price is number two. Number three. Now we're talking about some of the filming features. False color. Having false color at this $1,500 price range, I'm very satisfied. Now I know you can get the the Blackmagic Pocket and all those types of things, and they have all these features, but this has autofocus and good autofocus on top of that. And so some of those cameras might not be fit for me and the way I work my universal flow. So I'm not down to any other cameras, but for $1,500, the image that you get out of this camera, I think is great. And having false color is definitely a plus, because I didn't know it had false color going into this. I bought this camera mainly for the imagery. Number four, peaking. Peaking is one of my go-to focus assist tools. Now, mind you, I'm coming from the Sony systems, and the peaking was something that I used the most because I had lower budget cameras that I started with. And so peaking was something that was universal across all the cameras that I've used. So peaking, just kind of one of my go-tos. I know how to move and adjust that peaking to suit my needs. So peaking is number four. Number five, histogram. I wasn't expecting for this camera to have histogram. It'd have been nice to have the waveform like the R5C, but histogram works just as fine with me because I'm normally shooting in C-Log3 in this camera, unless I'm actually shooting the raw hack. Again, if you guys want to see that video, you can see it right here. But histogram really helps me to expose to the right. So that's really all I really need for this particular camera, just making sure that I'm exposing to the right when I'm using C-Log3. Now, coming in at number six, of course, the 6K sensor. Now, I kind of covered this a little bit under the number one, which was image, but having a 6K sensor really makes this camera come alive for me. And if it didn't have that 6K sensor, I probably would not be as satisfied with this camera, and I probably would not keep it. But having that ability to be able to punch in for that 6K and be able to do that 6K raw hack and those types of things, knowing that it's downsampling from that 6K, that really makes the image pleasing to me, and is really a keeper for me at this price range. Okay, so now we're gonna get into what I believe are the challenges for this camera. So now if you're kind of on the fence about this camera and you're wondering, should you get it, should you not get it? Well, these are the 3 challenges that I think that you should consider. Now, number 1 is the battery. Now, it has the Canon E17 battery. It has a small battery. So you're gonna have to overcome that challenge for battery power and usage, especially if you plan on filming for an event and you got, you know what I'm saying, maybe an hour, 2 hours you have to film and those types of things. You might wanna be looking at trying to overcome the challenge of battery. Now, number 2, it has 1 card slot. I see a lot of videos about the negativity of having 1 card slot. Now me, I have never had a card go bad. I never had a card fail. Now I use, brand name cards, so I've never had an issue with cards. Maybe, let me take that back. I had one issue once with one of my Sony a7S IIIs, and it was actually writing to the card, and I turned the camera off prematurely before it got finished writing. So that's really the only issue I had with cards, using SD cards. So my number 3 challenge is limited number of assignable buttons. Now that is a little bit of an issue for me because I like to make my camera come alive by assigning my buttons so I have quick access to the different features that I want to use. But I was able to get around this by using the Q menu. I would imagine that's called the quick control menu or the quick menu. I can assign all the different things I want at the touch of a finger. Having that quick menu is a really good workaround by not having all the assignable buttons that I'm used to having, coming from Sony cameras. As of right now, those are my only challenges for the R8. And I'm gonna keep using it, and if some other things develop, I'll definitely make a video about it. And again, when I have challenges, all I do is overcome those challenges. And that's it. I go into this whole situation buying the camera, knowing those issues exist because I do my research before I buy the camera. That's why I don't really understand all the different YouTubers who complain about the different functions and features in the camera. I go into the camera knowing that I got these limitations or challenges, and I'm already prepared to overcome those challenges. Well, there you have it, guys. That is my likes and challenges for the Canon R8 as of today. Now, I might be changing this up. The more I use the camera, the more I see certain things, the more I'm gonna make more videos updating you guys about the R8. I'm excited. I'm excited about what Canon is doing with their cameras. It looks like that their cameras are all about imagery first and everything else secondary. And that's kind of up my alley because I'm all about imagery first. That's what I'm buying the camera for. I'm buying the camera for the imagery I can get out of it, what I can have to work with in post. And so being able to use that 6K raw out of this camera, and again, if you guys have not seen that video, go check that out. If you agree with my challenges, if you agree with my likes, go ahead and comment down below. I would love to have a conversation about that with you guys because I like talking shop when it comes to these cameras. I'm a camera enthusiast, so that's why I make these videos. This channel is all about iron sharpening iron, and we are taking our skill to the next level. We talk about gear on this channel, but it's really all about you. You are the person behind the camera making it happen. You are the person making it do what it do, right? And so it's really all about you. So don't get it twisted. We talk about gear because I'm a camera enthusiast, but it's all about you being the person behind the camera making it happen. So until the next time, go out and film something and kill it.